I can't call her Dr. Rita Chowdhury because she is my teacher, so I'll call her Rita Baidu, the way we used to address her in college. But by the way, your journey has been a very interesting one. You were a participant in Assam agitation. You went to jail. You were an activist. You were underground. And then that time only you met your future husband, and he joined politics, but you didn't. You pursued academics. You became a distinguished author. How does it feel now that many people, many in Assam I see, whenever you get an award or you write a book or you are celebrated somewhere, they try to attribute that success to being the wife of a powerful man?
Now actually this phase is over. People have stopped, pulling his name into that to my identity. But what actually I face many adverse situations because of my political identity as a wife of a minister. But what I personally feel, when they try to, break me, to break my power, or to, pull me down, they always use this identity. Okay, she got these things because of her husband. So first, it was very painful for me. Now I have learned to ignore it. And this is the, most powerful weapon to win and be be strong and grounded against this kind of attacks and all. So.
Dr. Chandee, apart from being a doctor, you're also an entrepreneur. You have your own company. How does it feel? Means, do you think that after your husband became chief minister, you have got certain advantages in running your business, or you have become more popular as a doctor in your home state? Do you see advantages, or you feel that this new identity, the wife of a chief minister, it has come with a price?
Oh, well, first of all, I don't practice now. I'm not practicing actively, so I don't do justice to my education. And that's because it's a conscious decision of me not practicing, because my husband is in full-time politics. So, to balance out the family life, so we decided that I would take care of the family as well as look into other personal works. So, as you all know that Conrad was an entrepreneur, after coming back from America, he started his own company, and then midway he left it for politics. So that's when he told me to take over the company, and I kept telling him that, I'm a medical graduate, how would I look after it, and how would I be able to, work it out. Then he just said that, well, business is something you'll just learn it, when you handhold it yourself. So I kept deferring it, and then came a time when finally, when his father passed away, he became the member of parliament, and he told me that now you have to take over the company, you have no choice at all. So then I was like, okay, let me try. Then after getting into it, I actually feel now that I'm quite comfortable at it. I wouldn't say that the company is so successful, but I would say that it's stable now. So I think I'm also learning to find my own individuality in it, and I think I'm quite happy doing that.
Does it help in cracking a deal when you pick up the phone and call and say that, okay, I am so-and-so, wife of Meghalaya CM?
Not at all, not at all.
Do you consciously hide that identity?
Yes, I feel like it's better to be humble and modest, and I think I'd like to live my life in a bit more humble way. So I don't really see Conrad as chief minister, and it comes with its own sets of protocols, and that I have to stick to it. It doesn't apply. I feel like I'm a normal person, a normal individual, and I should have my own privacy and balance it with the public life as well. But that doesn't mean that I don't help him in politics at all.
So how do you help him in politics? Do you give him...
Well, you know, ours is like a matrilineal society, and that's like one of the rarest kind of society there we have in Meghalaya, and I am proud of it. So when basically in politics, for us, in our region, they tend to look at the wife also. So, and they judge the person, the character of the person by the kind of family he has. They look at the children, sometimes to even the extent that they look at your pet dog. So I think wife plays a very important role. And so, you know, I would like to encourage him and be there for him. So I try to do whatever I can in whatever way possible.
So you're very indirectly, you were saying that all the success that he has, political success, it's because of you, because he has you as the wife.
Not at all, not at all. It's just a cliche when they say that behind every successful man there's a woman. I think it's just a cliche, but yeah, I think it depends a lot on how you are there as a partner and as a spouse to your
So you are the one giving him tips about how to handle Prime Minister Modi or how to expand NPP in the Northeast?
Not at all. But I wouldn't say I'm not totally disconnected. We, just like how every other individual and every other couple goes through all the disagreements and the arguments, so we do have them a lot, and he happens to hear a lot from me. But it's totally up to him, and it's totally his thinking, and I know that he's smart and capable on his own. So I have my own voice, and he has his, and it's my duty to give advice to him sometimes, but not necessary that he has to listen to me.
I'm getting a bit personal, but what was the last argument you had? Political argument.
I think that's a bit too personal, I should say. And
I'm saying political argument.
I think it was just recent, yeah, but I cannot divulge the details.
Okay, that's the sign of a true politician. Aimee, you were probably the most trolled person in Assam. Every second or third day I see you getting trolled, and all because of the fact that your husband is a very powerful and influential minister in Assam cabinet. How has the journey been? Means you were an actor before he probably became a full-time politician, and he came to you, as far as I know, as a fan seeking autograph or something like that. What happened then? Do you also advise him on politics?
First of all, I want to thank to be a part. I really feel very proud and honored to be a part of this prestigious event. And before that, I want to add one more thing in my introduction. I want to add one more word, that is, I am a farmer too.
Okay, I didn't know this aspect.
Yeah, I bought some land in my village with my own earnings, and I bought all villagers whose lands are lying vacant, and we formed one society. Then we started farming, and like we grew some betel nuts, and like we have one dairy farm, we have fisheries. You know, at the same time they become financially independent, and they are earning handsomely. Through that, we just convey this message, rather than waiting for a job, we can use what kind of things we have, our lands or something, and we can be self-independent. So I really feel proud to be a farmer, to introduce myself as a farmer. And yes, you are talking about my journey. I started my journey at a very early age, when I was just 14 years old. And till now, I have acted 29 feature films as a heroine. And last year, I started doing direction. That means I entered into filmmaking. And I met my husband, Pijus, when I was just 18 years old, and he was 25. That time, he was involved with a student political organization, and yes, definitely, he was, I think still is an ardent fan of mine. You can say we grew up together, and it's a long journey. You know, we are more like a friends than a couple. We both are totally different from our profession, but we never interfered with each other field. We always share mutual respect and trust, emotions of, there's no any boundaries to express the emotions. We always believe in each other's abilities and mutual freedom. And really, I feel proud to be his wife, not because he is a minister, but he is still that person, that humble person whom I met 17 years ago. And yes, because of my film, as you told, I told, yes, sometimes it happens. I faced my first criticism when I was around 15 years old. A reporter had written something, an article about me. And after reading that article, I really cried my heart out. And from that point of time, I started believing in words. Words can make you, break you, heal your soul, and can scare you forever. So, from that point of time, I started using my words consciously to convey my feelings. And I believe the criticizers are my well-wishers who believe that I can do much better. So,
I'd like to interrupt, but Dr. Chandee took credit for Conrad Sangma's success. And Pijus gets, most of the time, he gets credit for whatever you achieve. Do you want to take credit for his political success? Do you give him political tips?
No, never, because as I said, we never interfered into each other field, but yes, we always stay each other back. We always there. And whenever I need him, I know that he is and he will be there. So definitely, in political field, what he is doing, that's all because of him, but I'm just managing my house.
Okay, very humble housewife. I'd like to come to Arpita Chatterjee. You are an accomplished actor. You acted in Odia films, Bangla films, and but most of the time, and you are an entrepreneur as well. So, but most of the time, your identity gets submerged with the fact that your wife of Prosenjit, who is, as I said, perhaps the longest running superstar in Indian film industry, if taken together. How does it feel? At times, do you regret that I wish I had been wife of someone else, or I had my own identity?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to congratulate the entire team of India Today to organize this beautiful conclave. And thanks to Kaushik and all other decision makers who have chosen me, who have given me this opportunity to be part of this mighty panel. Well, Kaushik, it starts the way you called me, Arpita Chatterjee. Why not Arpita? Anyway, so let me give you a little bit of preamble. So it's very simple. My professional life, I divide in 3 phases, and I named it also. The first phase I call the rising star. I was in grade 9. I started my career with modeling, then won Shananda Tilottama beauty pageant, one of the most prestigious beauty pageant organized by ABP Group back in 1997. Quickly got into movie and became a serious movie star, became an actress, and endorsed a lot of national brands as well. So in one line, in that phase, what I can say that my popularity was going with every day. So that time my identity was Arpita Paul. The second phase, which I name sharing my own identity. Yes. So in that phase, I know, I mean, the question is coming to your mind that, why did you do that? I'll tell you. It's just because two reasons. Again, very simple. One is that I was not very ambitious. And second is the societal programming. Anyway, so I got married in 2003. I became mother in 2005. And I quit my acting. That time, my only objective was to support my husband so that he can get back, he can revive his stability, especially mental stability. And contrary to popular belief, where everybody thought that I will use this marriage as the stepping stone in my career. And then what happened, that it's a very interesting thing that, for any actress, any heroine, age is one of the most important elements. I'm sure you will agree with that, especially for women, heroine, actress. The moment I got married, I became Arpita Chatterjee, and my age got increased by 20 years. Yes, that happened with me. So my perceived age was that whatever my real age, it is just 20 years, it got increased on its own. Another interesting thing happened, Kaushik, this phase, that as I quit my acting career, but I started my entrepreneurship for the first time in my life. I ran my production house, partnering with my husband, but again, as a second fiddle. So this is the second phase where from Arpita Pal, I became Arpita Chatterjee. Now the third phase, and the phase which is going on, which I name the awakening. So I realized that somehow, perhaps, maybe I'm compromising with my self-respect. Maybe I'm compromising with my potential. Maybe my creativity is being wasted. It's just one life. So I gathered myself and I restarted my acting. Not only that, parallelly, I started my startup. It was a health tech content company. I raised funds. I ran the company for 4 years. Then I sold it. Again, I set up a company, which is now, it's in Delhi. It's a production house. So in this phase, predominantly my identity have become Arpita, the woman. Yes, I play multiple roles. I have to play multiple roles like mother, daughter, wife, daughter-in-law, but predominantly as Arpita. So now I have reached in a phase, Kaushik, that I live my life in my own terms, and I'm fostering big professional dreams. Yes.
So Arpita, the way I have been asking this question to others, how much credit you will take from Prosenjit's career and his success? Means, do you think that you have contributed to his success the way Dr. Chandee said that he has contributed to Conrad's success?
I just told in this monologue that the second phase, when I got married, I helped him to rebuild the stability, especially the mental stability. I think that's one of the biggest contributions from me to his life. Because anybody, it needs, if the personal life is not stable, if the person doesn't have the mental stability, no matter whatever profession he is, he cannot do good, he cannot do well. isn't it?
So if he is the longest running lead actor in India, it's because of you. Am I right to conclude?
No, Kaushik, if you do a little bit of research, you will see that he was already one of the biggest brands when I got married. So I came in his life much later. And
But
yeah.
you have lengthened his career that way. And he was already a brand. He has been there since, I believe, 1980s, if I am not wrong. So late 1980s. And
What late 1980s? What you are saying?
he was already a brand that time also. He was a star.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I mean,
when you
1980s,
came in-
1980s, he's already a star.
Yeah, but
And
when
I
you
was
came
just
in,
1 year old that time.
he's still relevant. He's still
Yeah, that's
there
a fact.
So you added to his career.
Of course. The way I said, Kaushik,
That's what
that
I wanted to hear.
So I told you, you were repeating the question, so I'm repeating the answer. That yes, I don't know that how much big actor that I helped to become, because he is a very talented actor. I mean, no doubt about it as an actor. So I don't need that to become a very good actor, to become a very big brand as an actor. My contribution was needed, but as a person overall, the stability that was needed for him that time, I brought that, yes.
By the way, you didn't choose to become the politician. You could have, because you were actively in Assam agitation. Did you make a conscious decision not to go there because your husband was already deciding to go into politics and he wanted to pursue a career that way? Was it a conscious decision between you two, or it was accidental?
You will know that I was an activist, and when I was absconding, I wrote a novel. I got first prize when I was in Dibrugarh jail.
You were in jail that time when you got the first award.
Yes, and so this is a different experience. It's changed my entire, my life, about my perspective, everything changed. I was very young that time. Then I met my future husband as a co-activist. But I got married to a minister, a politician. His identity changed, not mine. This change identity was a very big, maybe a challenge, or it's a very difficult situation for me. So there was offer to join politics. Then it was a very conscious decision what to do. Activism and politics are different, and I know that the political life is, and all the politics, or this the corridor of power is very temporary. It's like Aladdin's lamp. So I didn't want that kind of thing. It's because I received...
You didn't want that your husband is in politics. You didn't want him to be in politics. You didn't want your husband to be in politics.
No, I didn't want him to join politics. I was very unhappy. But that was his decision, and I believed in that he has to take his own decision. But I didn't support it. But then this identity of a minister's wife, it was a complete, a different life. And I was actually confused. It's a long 10 years confusion. So that is my identity. Then there's a question mark in my identity, who I am, what I want to do, what life actually I want. Then it took long years to decide. And I have to tell you the journey so that you can understand the thing. So after 10 years, I have decided to go back to my original position, to my people, where I received so much love and that, and I wanted to serve the community. So I didn't have any other options. So I tried a craft. I wrote a novel. So that was in my hand, and nobody could, control my pen. So I decided to be a writer. I have started writing. Again, it took 15 years to, to come back, because a minister's wife, generally people, they don't accept an independent writer, with open arms. There was, criticism, there was distrust. And in entire journey, my only strength was my self-respect. So it was actually very painful journey, very, very painful. But it was, I chose to take the pain. So I cannot blame anyone. That was a comfortable life waiting for me, but I refused to accept that and took my own path. So I am here. So it's a very long journey. And it is never a very, what do you call it, advantageous position for me. Whenever I receive one award, people start saying, okay, her husband has managed. I wrote my book, Makam. It was, very, I had to go to China or Hong Kong to travel, extensively. Then some people said, okay, her husband has money. She can afford it. Anybody can write a book if someone has kind of a minister husband. So this is actually very painful.
I had many more questions for all these beautiful women, very successful, but the clock is ticking and it's saying that I must say goodbye.
Okay.
So thank you all for joining us at India Today Conclave. It was wonderful having you all here. And I really appreciate that you shared the views which are not publicly shared much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.